So welcome.
Good morning. First of all, I wish to express my deep condolences to the people affected by the storms in Valencia, and especially to the families who have suffered losses. I also want to express my gratitude to all people working on the land, in the firefighters, to the police, and to all who are doing their best in trying to help this tragedy. Christine Lagarde also asked me to convey her condolences and those of the ECB and express her solidarity, and told me that the Spanish flag today is half-masted in front of the headquarters of the ECB today. And now I wish to thank Ana Botín and Banco Santander team for the invitation to the international conference. It's really a pleasure for me to be here. And let me start by formulating a question. Why long-term growth and productivity is of particular importance for central banks? Actually, why does it make sense for me to address to you today on this issue? And the reason to me is primarily twofold. First, because in the implementation of monetary policy, we need to assess the cyclical position of the economy, and this requires to estimating the gap between actual and trend growth. Moreover, in pinpointing the desirable monetary policy stance, a view on the natural interest rate is particularly important, and a key determinant of which is long-term growth and productivity, and that's the reason why I think we really devote a lot of resources in central banking to this. But the second factor is more specific to the monetary union, because secular weak growth and productivity, as the one we are witnessing at present, could complicate the conduct of monetary policy going forward. This low growth environment stresses fiscal policy, hinders social cohesion, and makes it difficult to advance on real convergence. And all these elements are very important for a well-functioning monetary union. Now, I would like to emphasize what we can do to enhance potential growth rather than at European level, at the national level. For a few months now, we have been discussing the Letta and Draghi reports and the potential actions to be adopted at the European level. These solutions are clearly desirable and need to be promoted, but some will require time and difficult political consensus before they can be effectively implemented. Individual member states have significant scope at the same time to promote growth potential and contribute to this goal. In other words, recognizing the importance of European-wide measures should in no way inhibit the ambition of national policies. To address this topic, let me back to the basics, and let's look to the three factors of the production function: the human capital, the physical and technological capital, and how these factors are combined in an efficient and productive manner. Let me illustrate the differences across countries in these three inputs, following my narrative today, and starting with the human capital. When analyzing differences in labor input, we consider not only headcount or hours worked, but also human capital aspects. This encompasses investment in schooling, on job training, and learning about the economic system. These investments directly improve individual knowledge and productivity and can also enhance the efficiency of others through productive interaction. From a business perspective, research shows that firms' productivity is highly correlated to their staff's educational attainment level. And here there are also very large, sizable differences across European countries. Interestingly, while firms at the productive frontier systematically differ in the use of general skills, they differ even more in the use of specific skills such as management, communication, and ICT. Indeed, ICT skills are particularly valuable in the current technological transformation. However, again, there are significant differences in how European tertiary education system attracts students into these new skills. I would like to illustrate this point exactly in these charts with showing substantial differences in the share of tertiary education in STEM fields. This difference is particularly concerning because it reflects disparity in the flow of young people enrolled in the education system, not just the stock of the students. Now, let's move to the second, the capital. And improving human capital benefits growth not directly, but increasing productivity and indirectly via interactions also through complementary with capital. There is a wealth of literature documenting the complementarity between human capital and new technologies, the so-called skill-biased technical change, suggesting that increasing human capital could positively impact technical change. Specifically, there is a clear relationship between human capital and technological diffusion. And here, let me again illustrate this with one point, which is, again, the big differences in the adoption of new technologies in Europe, and in particular, in this chart, what is showing is the percentage of firms using artificial intelligence technologies across European countries. But there could be other metrics even more striking. For instance, differences as regards the adoption of cloud computing services. Lastly, we need to examine the element, which is the interplay of factors that cannot be explained by increases in pure human or physical or technological capital. And let me also stress here the interaction between human capital and technology adoption. There is evidence that supporting universities and reducing barriers to STEM education, especially for underrepresented groups, have significant long-term effects on innovation. While educational disparities undeniably play a significant role in shaping innovation, several other factors have been identified as very important in influencing this dynamic. Notably, high-skill migration presents substantial challenges. And we also see here again marked differences among European countries. Let me see, not yet. There is a further point I would like to make, because the reliance on bank and market financing that varies greatly among firms in different countries, impacting their ability to innovate and grow. Furthermore, inefficient insolvency rules can stifle entrepreneurial venture by creating an environment where failures is overly punitive, thereby discouraging risk-taking and innovation. Addressing these multifaceted issues is essential to understand differences in innovation across countries. On this issue, the transfer of knowledge and the diffusion of innovation to the entire economy are both particularly important. In this mechanism, venture capital markets have proven very relevant. And here in this chart, this is the chart I want to show, differences on venture capital investment, you can see that differ a great deal among European countries. And an additional element that sometimes is overlooked is the quality of institutions, and more specifically, the efficiency with which public administration operate including the quality of the legislation, also tax legislation, and implementing agencies, the agencies that need to implement the policies. I mean, since even the 60s, there is a lot of evidence that this is very important. Also, Marcus Orlos also showed us. And more recently, even in political science literature, Francis Fukuyama has produced a lot of evidence showing the importance of institutions and the institutional setting in determining the performance of an economy. And more recently, Athenoglu, Johnson, and Robinson, with the Nobel Prize, has shown us how important institutions are. And I would like to illustrate this point here with this chart that I like very much. What you can see combined on the horizontal line, GDP per capita, and on the other one, an index of the World Bank on the governance efficiency, the efficiency of the public administration. You can see that the correlation across European countries is extremely high with only these two variables, GDP per capita and efficiency in the way public administration operates. It's 75% of R squared. I mean, and also the chart shows that on both elements, GDP per capita, we know it, and in the way and efficiency with administration operates, there is a great deal of difference across countries. So this to me is an issue for reflection, and also an issue while moving a number of countries in the direction of the high-performing ones, we have a lot of room for let's say, for improving the aggregate growth in the euro area. And this is exactly what I would like to conclude. Here, I just, as a bottom line, I would like to leave with you probably a single message that there is ample room for leverage on best practices at European countries to enhance aggregate trend growth and productivity, and that in addition to badly needed European-wide initiatives, which are crucial, and I think that Draghi and later reports have stressed very much the importance of that, this should not inhibit us from thinking and focusing that there is substantial homework at the national level. Thank you.